Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing on this Monday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Hope you all had a good weekend. I had an interesting weekend, shall we say the least. But welcome to Good Morning, Reganelite here on Monday, the 29th of September, on the eve of October. Why is it October already? Like, literally, it felt like January was yesterday, guys. But time always flies. It never stops moving, guys. It never stops moving. We're going to look at today's daily quota for the Monday, for the week ahead. We're going to look at the weather, see what some of the weather is going to be like in the week ahead for us all as well. And we're going to have a look at some of the news. Obviously, there is the Labour conference taking place right now. We'll have a little snoop and see what's going on there. We'll have a look at some other UK news, as well as some other news taking place around the world. I should also point out as well that this morning, not only have I recorded short videos for the next couple of days, I've already recorded today at 12 o'clock for both Rumble and Patreon. There's a video dropping today at 12 o'clock for you guys. So if you're on Rumble or Patreon, you can check out both of those videos dropping today at 12 o'clock. Link for both of them is in the description. And by the way, they don't cost anything to watch. They are completely free as well. So who is lurking in the chats here on Twitch and YouTube? Nobody's lurking in Twitch at the moment. Steam Banker is here. Good to see you, Steam Banker. Hope you are doing well. Indie Duck is here as well. So the Duck is here as well. Good to see you there. Alistair here, one of our moderators, is here as well. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you are doing well. Person Impersonator is also there as well. Just as a quick side note as well, some of you guys may have gone to the wrong live stream. That's because I started the wrong live stream. Which is why some of you may have been in a live stream that started and ended very quickly. Yeah, so that was a bit of a goofball moment there, but luckily I managed to fix it before anyone noticed there. So, and Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Right, let's get started, guys, because we only go for an hour. For those who don't know, we don't go any more than up to 12 o'clock as well. Here is today's daily quota. Can I do it? Am I looking at it right? So I don't know exactly entirely where my camera is, but there it is. There is today's daily quota there. It is, I cannot say the person's name, Democritus? Someone will have to try and pronounce it for me. Okay, so here's today's daily quote. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. In the soul, guys. It is true. Happiness does dwell within the soul. You can have all the money in the world, but you still can't be a happy person. Just ask Elon Musk. He has all the money in the world, and yet he's still a sniveling, snobbling little man. Ooh. Is that the last one for September? That's a very cool one for tomorrow. Very cool one for tomorrow. And by the way, guys, if you do like those, just as a quick caveat before we go into the stuff, if you like daily quotes and if you want to see more of them, I have an Instagram page just called Reganelite. It's different to my Reganelite Shorts, which many of you are familiar with. And on there, I post pretty much daily quotas nearly every day. So do check it out. Instagram.com/Reganelite. So if you guys like just daily quotas, it's not political in any way, shape, or form. Just every day I post a daily quota and I share some other quotations and all that kind of stuff as well. So if you're into that kind of stuff, do check it out. Instagram.com/Reganelite. If you guys are interested in any of that as well. And again, that's that one. I don't make any money of it. I just do it because it's a nice positive thing to do as well. So what's been happening in the weather, guys? So let's have a look at today's weather here. Sorry, I like doing that. It is the weather here. And by the way, my voice hasn't fully recovered, by the way. But I blame the weather more than anything rather than myself. So I just need to be careful with it. My plan is to have lunch after this live stream and then go for my long walk. And then I'm going to try and record some stuff later, guys. I'm not rushing to get Twitch. I can barely use Discord. Don't worry, Indie Duck. If you can't use Twitch, don't worry about it. It's always the quiet. It's the quiet area anyway. So if anybody in the YouTube chat wants a whole chat box to themselves, they can always find it on there. It's twitch.tv/Reganelite1 if anyone's interested in hopping over there. To be fair. So this is today at 7 o'clock. This is some of the weather patterns over in Europe we've got here. Madrid 20, Lisbon 23, and Rome 21, Nice 21, Bern is 12, Prague is 12, Berlin a chilly 13 there, Brussels and Paris 16, 17 respectively, London 16, Manchester 14, Belfast 13, Edinburgh 12, Oslo 18, Reykjavik all the way up in Iceland at 11 there as well. Oh, wait, I'm playing with the buttons again, guys. I do like really got to be careful with these buttons. Right, so let's just have a look here. It looks like there might be some shades of rain and showers that you guys may be experiencing up in Scotland today. But overall, the majority of the UK is not going to be experiencing too much. There may be some showers looking like there's going to be coming into Belfast, Northern Ireland there overnight into Tuesday there. But temperatures doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a problem here. We'll just have a quick nose a bit more closer here, just looking at some of the numbers here. Yeah, temperatures aren't going to be too much of a problem. Might be a bit windy in some parts, but overall, again, it's temperatures and winds that you would expect around this time of year. I shouldn't need to tell you that. You guys already know that. But yeah, they're not too bad. 14, 15 degrees here. So yeah, not too bad in terms of temperatures. We'll have a quick look up in Scotland here, just a quick gauge of some of the temperatures here. Yeah, some of the temperatures are quite chilly tonight. They're going to be 12, 11, but nothing that that you Scots haven't had before over there as well up in Northern Ireland. Again, temperatures 13, 15. Again, that's not too bad there. Isles there 14 degrees. On Wales 12, 13 degrees in some parts. Again, nothing that we aren't familiar with here. Peter, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Very generous of you. Thank you for getting the start of the super chat goal. Only popping in busy day. No worries, Peter. I've got a busy day too. So thank you so much for coming in and leaving that super chat. I really appreciate your support, and I hope you have a great day. I really mean that. And the same to the rest of you as well. Ellie, good to see you there as well. Hope you are doing well. All right, let's have a look and see how the weather goes into the next day. So overnight, I should be being rude here. I'm not showing the whole of the UK. How rude of me. Yeah, let me start that again, guys. There we go. Let's have a look here. So overnight, it looks like, yeah, pretty chilly temperatures overnight, but in the early hours of Tuesday morning, parts of Scotland may face some showers. Northern Ireland will face a couple of showers here and there as well. Nothing that is unusual. Temperatures are very cold for Tuesday morning. There you can see 9, 10 degrees, Edinburgh 11 degrees there. But temperatures will start to pick up throughout the day tomorrow, as high as possibly 19 degrees on Tuesday. That is highly unusual for London. That's quite extraordinary considering we're going into October. That's very, very worrying indeed there for temperatures. Yeah, but 16 degrees there. Belfast, Dublin, 16, 17 degrees there. So yeah, that's very high temperature there for a Tuesday, but doesn't look like there might be some spots of showers here and there tomorrow, but nothing really there we can see that's going to be anything too concerning here. Let's have a look at Wednesday, guys. So it looks like this big puff of shower that's over on the left-hand side that's coming over into Ireland. It's crossing over Tuesday night. It's going to come over on to Wednesday morning. So yeah, for those up in pretty much very north of England to pretty much the majority of Scotland, Wednesday, guys, you're going to have a huge shower dropping overnight, Tuesday night. Into Wednesday morning, parts of those showers will still be there, so you could expect strong winds and rain when Wednesday there, and those rains will also cast across most of the northern England as well there. So temperatures 14, 15 degrees on Wednesday there. Temperatures as high as 17 degrees, 16 degrees. London, Cardiff down the south, but they're not going to be experiencing too much of the rain. But you guys up north going to be experiencing that as well. So yeah, do bear in mind. So yeah, plenty of rain showers dropping on there. But Wednesday night, we'll have a quick look at Wednesday night before we cast and have a look at the news. Just have a quick look there. Overnight, Thursday, Wednesday night to Thursday morning, early morning there, showers again. Looks like they'll be hitting there. Looks like the big storm possibly coming as well. But that's going to be quite gruesome there. Looks like that's Thursday, 7 o'clock there. So we'll keep an eye on that closer to the time, so just bear that in mind if you're working or if you've got plans on Wednesday and Thursday up the north there, in my friends in Scotland. So just bear that in mind there. So that is kind of the weather there. So pretty much most Midlands, south of England, Wales, most parts of England, you're not going to be experiencing too much weather, too much maybe a bit of wind, a bit of rain here and there, and some clouds. But for Scotland and Northern Ireland, yeah, you're going to be getting quite a bit of rain a bit later in the week, some heavy showers and possibly some high winds as well. So just bear that in mind for the week, guys. Let's have a look and see what some of the news is got. We got 50 minutes on the clock. So, supporting reform to racist policies does not make voters racist, says Rachel Reeves. The Chancellor backs Keir Starmer's statement that policy to end indefinite leave to remain is racist, but says many reform voters would be, supporters would be horrified by it. So like Dave McGuinness said on his show, I agree. Keir Starmer is right to call the policies racist because it is blatant racism. The thing is that some people generally think there are, and this is the minority of reform voters, and I'm going to say minority. A minority of them generally think that we need to like ethnically cleanse the United Kingdom from all the browns and the blacks and all that who are taking over our country. They're going to take it all from us. You know, Sharia law, and you know, we're going to have mosque in every single town and city and village. Yeah, that's the infringes people who generally have those beliefs that they really do think that there's going to be some kind of conspiracy theory that whites are going to get overthrown in the United Kingdom, like that kind of crazy damn. So those marginalised supporters you cannot convince in any way, shape or form. Now there are reform voters who are sick of Labour, sick of the Conservatives, lost complete trust with the Liberal Democrats, because they obviously shot themselves in the foot during the coalition, and they broke their promises there. Don't know enough about the Greens to put their faith behind them, and therefore when they hear Nigel Farage and Reform UK 24/7 on their news channels, whether that's on GB News, Talk TV, or right-wing influencers, because you get right-wing influencers talking about them all the time, that's why people are just saying, you know what, I'm just going to cast my vote for Reform, even though most of them don't know what Reform's policies are, or they see that Nigel Farage is, yeah, he sounds like a nice bloke, yeah, well, it seems like a decent bloke, except that he's not one of them, and that he's a wealthy man. He went to private school. You know, he just puts on an act. Is what he is as an actor. Nigel Farage is an actor, and he's a very good one. Problem is, he's playing as a real life actor for people instead of actually in a film and a TV series, which he probably would be doing much better. Which he probably would be doing, and he would be doing much better if he wasn't doing this. Probably more people would be in favour of him. Reg, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. So, but does this mean that people are going to vote for Labour at the next general election when people are saying if you vote Green, you get Reform. If you vote Lib Dem, you get Reform. If you vote Conservative, you get Reform. You have to vote Labour to stop Reform. And it's like, for me, it's like, no, fuck you. I'm not going to be forced to vote for a party in order to keep Reform out. No, you have to prove to me that you deserve to be in government. Yeah, if the general election is about stopping Reform getting into power, I'm still going to cast my vote for the Green Party currently, because Labour have not done enough, nothing enough to say to me that they warrant being in government. Their policies have been shambolic. You know, Keir Starmer referred to people in this country as islands of strangers. Talk about disparaging with communities. He says he regrets the comments, but still. And you have a Chancellor who keeps finding magical black holes and is doing a budget in late bloody November that's not going to benefit anyone in any way, shape or form. It's the Labour Party have completely lost their values, completely lost their identity. And as many people have said, it's not that they left the Labour Party left them. That's why many of them are turning away from them, even if the policies are racist. So Rachel Reeves pledges a library in every primary school in England. Okay, that's an interesting one. Chancellor also set to unveil plans to get young people back into work in party conference speech. As far as the library thing goes, like, that sounds really good on paper, but it's like I prefer the public libraries we had before. Like, I like the public libraries we had before. You know, when I was younger, actually, I used to, although I didn't go all the time, I'm not much of a book person, but I just liked going into them and just having a look at the books, sort of thing. And yeah. I mean, there are still some public libraries out there, but there's not as many as there used to be now because of everything's all online and social media. Von Eric, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. People were initially attracted to Trump because they were sick of the status quo. Then he trapped into their hate and used it to entrench himself. Same as what Farage is trying to do, tap into disarray. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know, you get LBC callers calling, thinking that the world is doomed, like the United Kingdom is doomed. It's not. Like, it really isn't doomed. Like, things are bad, but things are really bad for a lot of people. And I'm not denying that things are not good. But it's not like the apocalypse is happening, you know, which is what they're trying to paint. People on the right are consistently trying to paint this as, you have to vote for reform or we're all going to die. And it's just like, no, that's not the case at all. Like, you're going way too far of it. Don't they already have libraries? Some of them don't even have enough classrooms, Rosemary. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Libraries are fab buildings, very spiritual, just saying. Yeah, you know what? That's a good word to describe it, actually. I did find them quite spiritual, to be fair. Stop blaming immigrants and tackle UK real problems. 100 charities have told the Home Secretary. Yep. I'll cover that in a short video. But yeah, absolutely agree. Britain may already be at war with Russia, former head of MI5 says. Maybe in cyber warfare, possibly, but not actual war. But they always keep trying to do that. Woman raped by a group of men in Oxford churchyard. Officers said they want to trace a good Samaritan that believed might have tried to help the woman of her. The woman was in her 30s. Investigating horrific crime. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. I'm just seeing. Okay. I'm just seeing if they're saying anything about but obviously my condolences to the woman, and I hope the perpetrators get caught. But when I saw this, I was just seeing this story, and my first reaction is not like, this is a terrible thing to say. Good morning, Chris. Do you know what really upsets me, right, when I see this story, right? My first thought is, are these white men or are these brown men? Because it will be weaponized if it's brown men. I'd like to see the right. If it turns out to be a group of white men, I'd like to see Nigel Farage and Reform UK condone this. Will they come out and condone this, guys? What do you think? Mifrol, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Dismay in New Zealand after government fails to recognise Palestinian statehood. That sucks. At least 4 dead and 8 injured after shooting at Mormon church in Michigan. I covered it in a short video. Absolutely horrible. Another tragic shooting. I cannot believe what this guy did. It's absolutely disgusting, and my condolences with friends and families of those who lost loved ones, and the fact that he even tried to burning the church down as well. It's just absolute. I cannot imagine what people in that area community are feeling right now. More than 1 million UK workers gain more rights under the employment bill, says a think tank. That's good, but there's still more that can be done. I mean, don't get me wrong, the employment rights bill is good, but they're doing nowhere near enough. Libraries in England, we know about that. Any other stories worth talking about there? No. Let's just have a look at the front of UK if there's anything we need to look at. AstraZeneca plans direct listing on the New York Stock Exchange, but isn't quitting London. That's a bloody lie. Met considers making officers declare whether they are Freemasons. Won that 400 miles, 7 days. GP aims to set a record on Cornwall perimeter run. That's some of the stories there from The Guardian, you guys. Let's have a look. Let's go out into the world. Let's see what Al Jazeera are saying for us today, guys. Here on this Monday. What's the weather like where you are? It's at the moment, sun is actually out. Sun is out where I am, actually. I'm very fortunate to have the sun out at the moment for me. Trump to meet Netanyahu as ending Israel's war, Gaza reaches pressure point. This is the video. This is the story that I'm covering 12 o'clock on Rumble. The video's dropping at 12 o'clock, so if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. Link for the Rumble is in the description if you guys want to check that out there. That will drop at 12 o'clock. So I'm not going to comment too much on it, but I'm just going to say in short, I don't think anything's going to change from it. That's my personal opinion, but if you want more divulge thoughts about it, you can check out that video. Hezbollah, a legitimate political party within Lebanon, US envoy says it is. That is absolutely true. They have a huge sway in. I'm not going to read the interview, but they have a huge sway within Lebanon's policies, obviously, and they obviously have a sustained amount of hatred to Israel for what they're doing there. Why is the diverse Tony Blair now touted for post-war interim role? This clown, sorry, let me rephrase him as the war criminal. This is a war criminal right here who should be in prison for what he's done. I don't know why this clown is the one who should decide how Palestine, how Gaza should be rebuilt. It should not be him. It should not be the UK. It should not be the US. It should not be Israel. It should not be even the European Union. It should not even be the United Nations. Do you know who should decide how Gaza should be rebuilt? It should be its fucking people. It should be their people. I don't like this one goddamn bit. This stinks so hard of corruption. It stinks. I don't like this whatsoever. Tony Blair should have nothing to do with it. Here's a good question. Can someone tell me the last time Tony Blair was in Gaza? When was the last time Tony Blair was in Gaza? Not Israel, Gaza. If someone could tell me that, I'd much appreciate it. Sunny but cold in Staffordshire, says Chris there. Yeah, so I haven't stepped outside yet, but I'm probably going to say here, despicable Blair. Yeah, he is despicable, absolutely. I can see my breath, so I say it's cold. Or keep warm, Stephen Banker, if it's that cold. Really do stay warm. Iran hangs on to one of the most important spies for Israel in latest execution. Moldova's pro-EU party. I've got a short video about this, but I do want to touch on this, guys. This is a really good story. So Moldova's pro-EU party wins election hit by Russian interference claims. The governing party decisively victorious in parliamentary elections, widely viewed as a choice between Europe and Russia. I've talked about this last week, and I really was like, it really was very, this election was very, very important, but I did say there would be consequences regardless of which side it was going to be. There will be repercussions of the likes of the pro-Russian political parties and pro-Russian citizens, and not those who were bribed, but pro-Russian citizens within Moldova. They will try to take action. They will try still to stop Moldova carving a path towards the European Union. Putin is not going to give up, give up on this. But this is a massive victory for Moldova, that they won these parliamentary elections. I thought it was absolutely crucial. Can you give me the actual numbers, if it's possible? You have a pie chart or something? Not really, no. It would be nice to see a pie chart. That would have been really helpful there. So how did they do? The Pro-European Union Party of Action Solidarity had 50.2% of the votes. Pro-Russian Patriotic Electoral Bloc had 24.2%, according to the Associated Press. The Russian-friendly Alternative Bloc came third, followed by the populist R Party. So they gained 50% of the vote share. The Pro-European Party of Action and Solidarity passed there. That's very, very good. So, yeah, very happy for Moldova. Very big. That's very, very good news to hear over the weekend when we always hear bad news. So, Europe is not completely lost, guys. That's very good news to hear. Why has Microsoft cut Israel off from some of its services? There's something that didn't cross my mind when I covered this in a short video of Microsoft cutting Israel off from some of its services. It's not Microsoft cutting off Israel. It's Israel telling Microsoft to cut off its services, because Israel wants everything to be quiet. When is that happening, by the way? Because I'm still hearing stories in Gaza. Any other stories here that are worth looking at for you guys? Let's have a quick nose. Cuomo wants to be the next New York City's mayor. Good luck with that. Clown. He is a clown. Hong Kong activist Nathan Law said he was denied entry to Singapore. Pro-democracy campaigner said he held a valid visa and was given no reason for the refusal. Ooh. That's interesting. US and Russia proxy war is bleeding Africa. Yeah, Africa is always bleeding, unfortunately, and nobody wants to help puncture the wounds that they suffer, which is absolutely dreadful for them. We'll probably get to Africa news at some point. Hello, Jao, and goodbye, Jao. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you there. Hopefully, we'll catch you on tonight's live stream at 8 o'clock. If you guys want to join me for that later on today, much appreciated. Let's have a look at the Associated Press, guys, and see what's happening in America, and obviously some world stories here. Associated Press has some very good stuff here. So government shutdown draws closer as congressional leaders head to the White House. They have till, I think it's Tuesday or Thursday is the shutdown. I think it's just a shutdown. It'll be a government shutdown on Tuesday. Now, I fully expect it to be avoided. I expect Chuck Schumer and senior Dems to cave to giving the Republicans whatever they want. What happens at 8? I've got another live stream. Indie Duck. Live stream. Live stream tonight. Yeah, I don't expect a government shutdown. If we get a government shutdown, I will actually be... There's a part of me that's be happy. There'll be a part of me that's very sad. The happiness will be denying the government's... this Trump administration, this horrible, evil, corrupt politicians and government, from causing more devastation to people. The other point, unfortunately, is that all the civil servants, public workers won't get paid for doing their job, which grinds the country to a standstill, which would be really, really bad. So, yeah, it's a kind of a catch-22 situation there. So, Trump will speak at a hastily called meeting of top military leaders, AP source said. I have shared my divulged knowledge on that at 12 o'clock on Patreon. A video is dropping on that one. If you guys want to find out my thoughts on that, you can check out my video dropping today at 12 o'clock for free on Patreon. Georgia's 2026 candidates can't escape fallout from Trump's false 2020 election claims. We talked about the shooting. My condolences, of course. Suspect in Charlie Kirk's assassination case faces court hearing. This is the interesting story. Eric Adams is abandoning his re-election campaign. So he was one of two major rivals. He and Andrew Cuomo were the big challengers that could possibly. I know it's a long shot, but possibly take Zona Mondavi out for the New York mayoralship. Eric Adams stepping back. He never actually ran for the Democratic nomination. So he's running as an independent. However, the talks is that he's been bribed because Donald Trump didn't want him and Cuomo both running against Mondavi. So this obviously will benefit Cuomo a lot. But will this be enough to stop Zona Mondavi from being elected in November? I don't know. I don't know, but this is quite. Yeah, there were talks that he was offered like lots of incentives to step out of the race for Andrew Cuomo. But yeah, he's not been the best of mayors for New York from what I've heard. I'm just putting that out there. Don't know a lot about it, but obviously. I do think it makes the race a little bit more interesting there. Mefro says, including all the anti-trans stuff, this is dangerous or could be a bit rough for some folks. Yeah, it's going to be rough if they do go to a government shutdown. But the thing is, Chuck Schumer is not thinking about the. Chuck Schumer is a nasty, nasty Democratic individual. He's one of the biggest poisons in the Democratic Party for the state it's in right now. One of many poisons. He's a big, big problem. And he will not want a government shutdown. He will not want a government shutdown. So he's willing to move wherever the Republicans want to, which is not good. There is no schedule for tonight. That's because I've got to set it up again, Alistair. I clicked the wrong live stream this morning. That's why. I will set it up again. Don't worry. After this live stream, I'll set it up again. There is a live stream tonight, guys, at 8 o'clock. There is one. Okay, I just I started the wrong live stream. That's all. There is one tonight at 8. Don't worry. Regulators struggle to keep up with fast-moving, complicated landscape of AI theory apps. Some young kids with separation anxiety may need help easing into school. Yeah, of course. We need to help children wherever we can. Top diplomats of North Korea and China agree to deepen ties and resist hegemonization. Okay. I don't know. Well, you have to explain to me what that word means, guys, because I don't know what it means. Sorry. Arnold Schwarzenegger directs a band in a beer tent in Oktoberfest. U.S. citizens file claim for $50 million in damages after federal agents raid his business. Oh dear. Why did they raid his business? Let me guess. Is it ICE? Oh, it's a video. Just kind of wanted just a quick rundown of it. Israeli activists draw portraits of Netanyahu and Trump on a beach ahead of meeting. Yep, what a surprise there. Any other stories here that's worth looking at? What's this? And Cambodia sends hundreds of soldiers to help battle huge wildfires in Estonia National Park. Oh dear. That's not good for the wildlife there. Thailand's new Prime Minister promises to tackle Cambodia's border conflict and constitutional reforms. Treasury chief says war and tariffs are harming UK economic outlook. Tropical storm and former typhoon at Bula Bay ripped through Vietnam and kills at least 12 people. I covered that in a short video. Yeah, absolutely terrible what's happening over there right now with that typhoon. Yes, I know it's normal in for most out there, but still. Right, let's switch gears and head back to the UK, you guys. Adams is corrupt as hell. Yeah, Eric Adams is corrupt as hell. Yeah, I don't know enough about him, but yeah, I've heard enough to know that he's, yeah, him and Cuomo is just like, they're not good for New York. They're not good for New York, and Mandami just needs to keep his feet firmly on the ground, which so far from what I've gathered, he's still doing. So, cross fingers, he gets over the line. Just cross fingers, he gets over the line for the sake of New Yorkers out there. BBC, let's see what politics they've got here. Mahmoud to demand that migrants earn right to settle status. Migrants will have to prove that they are contributing to society to earn the right to remain in the UK, is set to announce. They have to prove it. What? Are you going to allow them to work? Are you going to allow them to work so they're not wasting taxpayer money? How about that? Are we going to allow them to work? Can we let them do that? Is that too much? You know, no worries, Indie Duck. Thanks for popping in. Like, let's let them. Can we allow them to work so they can actually contribute to the UK economy instead of actually sitting in their hotels, twiddling their thumbs with nothing to do while they wait for their application? Can we do that? Can we do that? Is that something too much to ask? No. Like, prove that they are contributing to society. Yeah, you prove it by allowing them to contribute to society, by allowing them to work. We'll find out later, obviously, what it's about. Don't underestimate peril for Labour, says Burdham. Yep, he's absolutely right. Labour are right now going to get their arse handed to them at local elections next. Is it next year? Yeah, they're going to get kicked out of Wales. They're going to get kicked out of power in Wales. I hope they get their arses whooped in Scotland, because people only voted for them because they wanted the Tories out and didn't think of voting SNP when they should have done. And local elections in most parts, people are going to vote Reform in England because they don't trust the Conservatives, and Labour have not done anything to improve their lives. Why is every Home Secretary more cruel and extreme than the last one? That's a good question. You know, I thought Priti Patel was a nasty individual, and then they put Suella Braverman in charge for the Conservatives, and I was like, my God, I thought Priti Patel was a nasty vampire. Thank you, Jeannie Bottle. Hemorrhoid, leadership or dominance, especially by one state or social group over others. Thank you for that, Jeannie. I much appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that. What else have they got here? Arrest at protest supporting Palestine action near Labour conference. Oh, what a surprise. Am I surprised people getting arrested outside the conference? No. Around a group of around 50 people sat in the grass outside ACC Liverpool, handwritten sign saying, I oppose genocide, support Palestine action. They're in the process of making arrests on suspicions of wearing, carrying an article supporting the prescribed organisation. This has got to stop. This has got to stop. They've got to stop this. The government have got to stop this. This is getting out. This is ridiculous. How many people have been arrested now? How many people have been arrested since they proscribed the organisation? Like, you can't put all these people in prison. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Up to 14 years in prison. Like, how many people are we talking about now? It's just absolutely insane. Like, all these... wait, hold on. Was the number there? Earlier this month, more than 425 people were arrested at a demonstration against the ban in Parliament Square in London. Where are you going to put all these... You had 425 just from that Parliament Square. Where are you going to put them all? Because our prisons are full. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd rather have criminals in there than people holding placards saying I support Palestine action put in prison. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the prisons that are crowded right now be used for them. Be used for actual criminals. Treasury peer calls for Labour peer calls for the Treasury to be abolished. I don't agree with that. Sawa says knackered S&P has run out of ideas. Have you got anything new? Have you got anything new? Have you got anything new for Scotland? I'm waiting for an answer on that. Applied and reformed, different poison, same bottle. Well, the problem is that you guys, you know, Welsh Labour, I'm just going to say it there, you guys have been in power for decades and decades and decades. And you know what? I don't know what's taken the Welsh people. Well, I know there's some English in Wales as well, but I honestly don't know what's taken them this long to realise, you know what, we should try something different after having the same political party in for more than, 30 years or something. You know, it will do, I know it's a bit scary for reform to having some power and control, but it will do the country some good not having Labour in control. It really would. It really, really would. It would shake things up. Even if reform are going to do terrible, it will just get more people talking there. Building of 3 new towns will start before election, Labour pledges. Okay, sure. Will digital ID cards stop illegal working? No! Is the answer. No, because they will just do cash in hand, which some of them are still doing now. It's not going to stop it. This is such a nonsense question. What a nonsense question. Jaguar Land Rover to resume some car production in coming days after cyber attack. That's good. Clouds Shipbuilding Welding Centre back on track after UK fund pledge. That's good. Anything that helps people get back to work. Changing pensioners conversation on violence against women in Northern Ireland there. New call to stop rare sheep breeds starving to death on remote islands. 2 vets have renewed their appeal for greater protection for a rare breed of sheep that lives on the remote Scottish archipelago. So runs on the St. Kelligar and are descended from animals first brought to the group of small islands on the rocky sea stacks thousands of years ago. David Buchan and Graham Charlesworth said that on the main island of Hikera, hundreds of sheep starve to death every winter due to a lack of grazing. They want the animal numbers controlled. But the National Trust for Scotland, which owns St. Killia, and the Scottish Government says the sheep are wild animals, do not come under welfare laws that protect animal farms. The UCIS-based vets previously organisation position calling for the sheep to be looked after in a more managed way. Sheep were first brought to St. Killia in prehistoric times. The rare breed is named after the archipelago small uninhabited island of Sway. The animals are small for their fleece and have a wide range of colours and shades, including dark brown. Sheep taken from Sway were raised as livestock in Hydra, the largest island, until the last inhabitants abandoned St. Killia in 1930, taking their animals with them. In the years that followed, about 100 sheep were moved from Sorry to Hydra. Today, there are more than 1,800 sheep on Hydra, according to the latest figures for the University of Edinburgh. The project's been gathering data since 1985. That's where it is. Cool. That's quite off the beaten track there. So the island is just full of sheep. Is that correct me if I'm wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It's been home to sheep for thousands of years. Claiming mortality operation of 400 in Europe. He said will provide adequate grazing for windows were left on the island. Interesting story. Starvation is not a good death, and it's suffering that concerns us. Yeah. Yeah, unless somebody plans to live on the island. Unless there's people living on the island, I'm like, yeah, I really do feel for them. Yeah, I generally don't like the fact that nobody's like doing anything about the sheep that are dying when there's no grass for them to feed on. I'm sure somebody in the chat will comment better, know much better than me on this story. Small boat carrying record 125 people crosses the channel. Still getting crossings, guys. Still getting crossings. Dismissed as a joke, UK's first rice crop ripe for picking after hot summer. And that's about it there for the BBC. Got about 20 minutes left, guys. Just a reminder, if you guys want to financially support me in the work that I do here, you can leave a super chat down below. Help me reach today's super chat goal if you guys can support that way. If not, just hitting the like button, sharing across social media, and subscribing really does help support the channel. My subscriber count has been staying this way, has been staying at 2,400 now for about a week. It's not fluctuate. It's basically fluctuated between that number. It's just not moving. I don't know what to do to push that number up or push that number up, but yeah, struggling to keep the numbers going, guys. But thank you for those who do subscribe and support the channel. Much appreciated. There's a military base there, says Reg. Is there a military base there? Obviously, the military aren't going to look after the sheep, but what's wrong with somebody coming over to look after them? It's an uninhabited region, but it is World Heritage Site. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, not anymore. It's been decommissioned, says Aston Kier. Interesting. Interesting. Middle Eastern Eye. It's not going to be too much to look at here. But I just wanted to share it anyway. Star Wars recognition of Palestine shows UK autonomy from Trump's US is vital. Opinion piece there. Netanyahu says Israel rejects Palestine state, denounces Gaza's genocide as blood libel there. I've got that in a short video. Basically his speech from the UN convention, which nobody bothered to listen to except the UK, the US, and a couple of others because we all decided to walk out. Diplomats storm out of UN General Assemblies, and then Netanyahu takes podium. Yep. Reconciling Palestine is a repeat of the West Oslo peace fraud, apparently. Sweeping UN sanctions imposed on Iran. Israel tanks advance deeper into Gaza City, trapping civilians. Act of savagery. Israel's Knesset panel advances bill to execute Palestinian prisoners. Why? Why? Inhumane. And remember, Israel says they're the good guys, yeah? Remember, they're saying they're the good guys. Iraq resumes Kurdish oil exports to Turkey after 2-year halt. US revokes Colombian president's visa, remarks over pro-Palestine protest. Arrest Netanyahu, Israel PM gets a New York welcome outside the UN. But, yeah, he's not going to get arrested. US aren't going to do anything, unfortunately. It's frustrating as it is, guys. I might have to open up a couple more stories. Hold on one second. Just going to open you up. And I'm going to open you up if we need to. Let's switch gears. Let's have a look and see what NBC News has saying here on their webpage. The Michigan shooting, of course. FBI investigation, church attack as an act of target violence. I think we don't know yet. It's too early to make the indication. Non-English speakers like this into morning news conference. Can you push your content partner with a language channel? Maybe just an idea. Not sure how to do that. If I'm perfectly honest, Trip. Good to see you there. I hope you're doing well. Was basing it on an application for a job there as a trust warden a few years back. Okay. I think it was the last 5 years. I think the trust only summer now time too, says Alison King. Interesting. It's interesting. Why was the military base there? Maybe strategic location at the time, maybe. Doesn't have any value now, I suppose. I think it's something along those lines, my assumption. Murder trial set to open for women accused of husband death years after another partner was killed. Exclusive from them saying Trump says he would think the DOJ is investigating former FBI defector Christopher Y. In a wide-ranging interview, the president accused White of inappropriate behaviour during his tenure and discussed sending troops to Portland. They're already going after one former FBI director, now they're targeting another one. India-Pakistan tensions spill into trophy presentation after cricket grudge match. Oh, God. Government shutdown looms ahead. We touched on that already. 8 dead and 17 missing. There's Typhoon Blind. We covered that already. Oh, radar station. Radar station. Thank you. Thank you, Keir. Appreciate it. Taliban releases US citizens from prisons in Afghanistan. Very good. That's a good sign. Netanyahu to visit White House. Rapporteur with no qualms eating his opponents wins New Zealand annual bird election. Sports. Not interested in sports personally. Anything else there? Amazon recalled 500,000 products. I'm pretty sure that's the story I covered last week. Highly premature attack at North Carolina waterfront bar leaves 3 dead and 5 wounded. Category 4 tropical storm threatens Bahamas and parts of the US. That's not good. It's not good there. So those are some of the stories there. Let's have let's switch gears and see. It's always like trying to find like other stories that perhaps you don't normally hear or see because it's only them that are talking about it. But sometimes you don't know how realistic some of these stories are. But they're always interesting. It's always interesting. You might find something that you don't always know about. I mean, most of them have the same headlines, but there's always like every now and then you'll find something interesting. Would that be a radar station used during the Cold War by any chance? That sounds realistic. That sounds realistic, Chris. Yeah. Labour conference. Reads the strongest hint of tax rises. Yep, tax rises are coming in the budget. It's coming. Reeves ordered Andy Burnham of going the way of Liz Truss. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop making that stupid comparison. No one is buying that comparison. No one is buying that comparison. If you're comparing Andy Burnham to Liz Truss in some way, shape, or form in terms of policy, you're an absolute dumbass. They need to stop making that stupid comparison. Starmer denies putting Donkeyfield in trust to avoid tax. Inheritance tax, eh? The Prime Minister has denied any wrongdoing. Sir Keir Starmer was grilled at the start of Labour conference over allegations he previously avoided an inheritance tax bill. Another tax dodger. The Prime Minister denied putting a 7-acre field that he bought behind his parents into property in his trust, which would have allowed him not to pay inheritance tax. He said he bought the land in 1996 to use as a donkey sanctuary so his mother and father could care for the animals. Sir Keir gave the land to his parents through a structure which meant when they died, the field value was excluded from their estate, the Sunday Times reported over the weekend. After he put the land into a trust on BBC Sunday Law Queensberg, he said, "No, I didn't. I bought a field for my mum and my dad because they love donkeys," he said. "My mum was very ill. She couldn't move around anymore." So why is this? This is not the first time the Prime Minister's donkey field has made headlines, with the Mail on Sunday pointing out in 2020 he was leader of position that the 7 acres of land had potential value of up to 10 million. This would prove a sizable overvaluation. Sir Keir bought the field behind his parents' house for $20,000 and sold it for almost $300,000 in 2022. Land tax. Land tax. He forgot to declare his parliamentary authorities for several years as an MP, which he apologised for in a statement to the Parliamentary Standard Commission in 2022. "I immediately gifted the land to my parents as long as I do not." So why are we bringing this back up again, if this was in 2022? It was suggested by legal experts commentating in the Sunday Times that the gift suggested the trust may be incorrect too, which they claim could help with the Prime Minister avoid any inheritance tax liabilities when his parents died. Right. Another tax dodger. But he's not going to face the boot for that. He's not going to face the boot for that. If anyone's thinking, that should be the camel that broke his back. But yeah, land tax, guys. We need a land tax. Mama to crack down on British citizenship criteria. Spoke about that already. Tech firms face a cyber flashing crackdown. Set out new duties for social media firms at a LA Party conference. Yeah, well, it's all tough talk, but you're not doing anything to them. They'll be ordered to crack down on cyber flashing. use of speech. Firms fail to comply and be fined up to 10% of their qualifying global revenue and potentially see their services blocked in the UK. The Labour government says they're going to block the services. Yeah, I'd like to see them try. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that for 1 second. This Labour government, can you imagine, like, would they actually, they don't have the balls to block Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any of them. They don't, guys. They're not. That's just hogwash talk. She tells activists cyber flashing will be made a priority and the Online Safety Act, placing extra duties in firms to protect users from seeing unsocial nudes, images or videos, saying keeping children safe online is non-negotiable. Yeah, it's just a problem. Well, it's non-negotiable except when it comes to the tech firms, then you make it negotiable. Donkey Charity UK ad. Now where the money goes. Good one, Chris. That is why my first act as Secretary of State was to force social media companies to find and remove content that promotes suicide or self-harm. And today I can announce I'll go further, making cyber flashing a priority offence. So platforms will be required by law to detect and remove this material because what is illegal offline must be illegal online. Cyber flashing is a criminal offence in England and Wales in January 2024. Perpetrators can face up to 2 years in prison. The scale of the problem was illustrated by YouGov study suggesting a third, 32% of girls 12 to 18 in England receive unsocialised pictures of male genitals, with 1 in 25% in the same age affected. Well, look, they talk, like, I generally mean this. I really hope they do crack down on this. Like, regardless of the political, regardless of how I feel about Labour, I generally hope they do crack down on this. I really, really do, and protect children online. But I don't have faith in them blocking platforms. And the fines need to be really, really. The fines don't really do enough for me. But you know, we've heard tough talk before, and it's just fallen flat on their face. You know. 66 arrested over Palestine action. Yep, 66 of them. Dog walker reacts with anger to no-go zones around the Royals' new homes. Well, you know, the Royals are just gonna do whatever they want. Singer demands Tommy Robinson stop using anti-apartheid anthem. So basically, Tommy Robinson's using music for his protest for singers from a singer that they don't want associated with Tommy Robinson. Don't blame them. Oh dear, guys! George Galloway was held for 9 hours at an airport by counter-terror police. Oh dear, what a shame! What a shame, George. I'm so not sorry for you being held for 9 hours at an airport by counter-terror police. JD Vance said he's certainly going to be more indictments coming against Trump's enemies. Trump to attend hashtag speech. And that's about it. But yeah, I'm so not sorry for George Galloway being held for 9 hours at an airport by counter-terrorist police, guys. I'm so not sorry to hear that. Oh dear, guys. It's terrible, terrible, terrible for George. George Galloway's a terrible person, in case you haven't got the reference. The Kiev Independent. Let's see what they got here. Sandu's pro-European Party takes majority in Moldovan parliamentary elections. Yep. Very, very happy about that. Ukraine FPP drone destroys MIN-28N helicopter, military says. 59th Brigade of the Unmanned Systems Forces destroyed a Russian helicopter in Donetsk Oblast. Some Russian units encircled near Donetsk in Donetsk Oblast, Sarsky says. Russian attack kills 3, injures 76 in Ukraine over the past day. I covered that in a short video just for detail. Russia has lost over 1.1 million troops in Ukraine, and that number still continues to rise on a daily basis, guys, just for reference there. There's no such thing as sanctuaries. Ukraine can conduct strikes deep within Russian territory, Kellogg says. Washington authorities specific instances where Ukraine can carry out long-range strikes within US Special Envoy to Russia, Keith Kellogg said on September the 28th. Brackish Oblast factory that supplies Russia's military reportedly burns following a drone strike. Hungary, Slovakia push back against EU plans to phase out Russian energy. Yeah, they should be phasing out Russian energy, but they're not going to. Russia using Shadow Fleet tankers to launch drones towards European cities, Zelensky claims. Russia's so-called shadow fleet of oil tankers are being used to launch and control Russian drones over European cities, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said, citing intelligence reports. Those ones at the front page. I'm just looking on the left-hand side here, guys, just for reference. Ukraine's HIMARS reportedly strike thermal nuclear plant in Russia's Belgorod Oblast. Trump to make final determination on supplying Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles as Russia refuses peace talk, Vance says. Give them the missiles. Just give them the missiles. Let them continue to cause damage to Russia. Let them continue to cause damage to them. Just continue. Like, I don't wish death upon anyone, but, you know, keep hurting Russia is the message I have. Polish embassy in Kiev struck in Russia's large-scale overnight attack. Ukraine's military intelligence claimed killing Russian drone operation occupied Metropole there as well. So some of the stories there. Danish armed forces report detecting more drones over military facilities. That sounds like Russia there. Oil pumping station in Russia's Chernobyl suspend operations after a drone attack there. Just seeing any other stories on the right worth responding to. Lavrov tells UN Russia that there are no plans to attack Europe, warns a decisive response to aggression there. So those are some of the stories from the Kiev Independent there. Got about 5 minutes left, guys. Just 5 minutes left. If we can help get to that super chat goals today, it'd be greatly appreciated. Obviously, if you can't, guys, the best way to support me is just hitting that like button, sharing across social media. That way is the best way to support me if you can do that, guys. And I do appreciate you all being here, giving your time here. It's greatly appreciated. Presidential campaign kicks off in Cameroon as opposition hopes to defeat Paul Biya. Yeah, the president, I believe it's Cameroon's president. It's like one of the oldest, isn't it? It's like 98, is in his like late 80s or something. What other stories they got here? I'm just looking on the right-hand side. The text is a bit small for you guys to see. International courts block sale of uranium stocks over dispute between Niger and French mining group. Hazard denies receiving news Gaza ceasefire proposal ahead of Trump-Netanyahu meeting. Presidential campaign kicks off in Cameroon. Gabon awaits result of first legislative and local elections since the 2023 coup. Nigeria, African creators train young creators with digital skills. The African Creators Conference 2025 brought together visionary thinkers, entrepreneurs, artists, and innovators from diverse fields. A platform dedicated to fostering innovation and celebrating the exceptional talents of creators across the African continent. The event showcases Africa's rich creative heritage and cutting-edge innovations to international shareholders. Africa's greatest resource is not its minerals or commodities, but its people, creativity, talents, and resilience. Artificial intelligence, if harnessed effectively, can amplify these trends, unlock new markets and transform competition, expand cultural exports, and create millions of jobs, said Blessing, Honorary New Representative Minister of Culture and Digital Economics there. Convener of the event said many creators feel are marginalised. They have talents and skills, but lack platforms to promote their skills and talents. Also meet with investors and policy helpers to make them alleviate the industry. We also plan to create an avenue for job creation. We have lots of graduates with no jobs but have potentials, but no place to showcase their talents. So this is a platform dedicated to promote them, he added. This is great. This is wonderful news. This is great, especially on the continent of Africa. It's very hard for people to make something of themselves here. So this is very, very nice story. I like this. Thank you, Stephen Banker. A shout out to Ollie. Shout out to Ollie. Shout out to Ollie. Ollie says thank you. Ollie says thank you. He says thank you. He's smiling. He's very happy. Thank you for that, Stephen Banker, for the £2 super chat. Much appreciated, my friend. Thank you for your support. What else is there? Haiti, the plight of families displaced by gang violence. Tehran residents react to worry to reimpose UN sanctions on Iran there. Any other stories? Meta to launch ad-free Facebook. Instagram in the UK. What is this? Meta platform says users will soon be able to pay for an ad-free experience on Facebook. In the UK, a move aimed at addressing mounting privacy concerns. The subscription will cost $2.99 per month on the web and $3.99 on Instagram. The op will no longer see ads, and their personal data will not be used for targeting advertising. You bastards. Unfortunately, guys, Meta do pay me for my wrestling page. I hope that doesn't affect my pay. There. A lot of these companies do that now. They say, "Oh, you don't want ads, or if you have to pay to get rid of the ads. You need to give us some money. You need to give us some money," is what they say, guys. Is what they say. Did have a couple of other stuff to look at, but we've reached 12 o'clock, guys. We've reached 12 o'clock. So yes, I will reschedule the live stream for tonight. There is a live stream tonight, guys. Don't panic. There is a live stream tonight. It will be at 8 o'clock. Is another Reganelite's Viewpoint. We'll be covering specifically news from the UK, but we'll probably be covering covering some bits on the Labour conference more than anything, guys. So if you guys want to join me for that, feel free to do so. That is tonight at 8 o'clock. Just a reminder for plans for this week as well. This Thursday, myself and Witchy Goth will have in the live stream on Thursday, 8 o'clock. Do join us for that. As far as I'm aware, I didn't see a schedule for Prime Minister's questions. So good morning will be just Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock as usual. And tomorrow will be global news at 6 p.m. So if you guys want to join me for that, you'll feel free to do so. But I'm done here for today, guys. Thank you guys for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. And thank you for Peter and Stephen Banker who gave super chats today to support the stream. Really greatly appreciated it. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing. Stay warm as always. But on your way out, if you can, hit the like, share, subscribe. Check out Rumble and Patreon for exclusive content, because those videos I told you about, they've dropped literally right now on Rumble and Patreon if you guys want to check out those videos as well. So enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you guys are doing, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.